The summer 2025 is heating up, and today I'm ranking the 15 biggest transfer rumors making headlines this month. From Rodrygo potentially joining Arsenal to Trent on the verge of signing to Real Madrid. Stay till the end of the video to discover the best moves this summer. So let me present you the categories. For the perfect move, for me, that's a 10 out of 10 transfer. This is a player that your team needs and a position maybe that your team needs, and there is a smart move. It's not maybe the most important role that your team needs in a player, but I think this move would make your team better. There's an okay move. It's not the priority, it's not the second priority, but it's a move that would sound good and would help your team. Me, it's a move that I don't see happening, or I doubt that it makes sense. It would make sense, but would need maybe a tactical adaptability. Would need a lot to make it work. And then there is Hell Knights straight no. It doesn't make any sense. I don't see this happening. And it would happen. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, let's start. So we start strong with Victor Gyökeres, the Swedish striker who's currently, I think, is top scorer. I think he's in the race for the European Golden Boot. I think he's surpassed Mohamed Salah, if I'm not wrong. And it's a rumor that we've seen since a long time, honestly, because we know that Andrea Berta, the new sporting director of Arsenal, wants to sign Victor Gyökeres. It's his priority, and I think it's smart from Arsenal because I don't believe that they will get Isaac. And if Isaac is to be sold, I don't see him joining Arsenal rather than Liverpool. Why would he join Arsenal? Isaac would have suitors like Liverpool, like Barcelona. I doubt that he will choose Arsenal. But Gyökeres, I think his playing style, he matches the Premier League, and I don't see him turning up like Nunez. I think Gyökeres will become a big striker and could even be a great option for many teams of the Premier League. So for me, I'm a Liverpool fan. If you tell me tomorrow that we're signing Gyökeres rather than Isaac, I'm not complaining because this guy is a natural goal scorer. So for me, it has to be perfect. I think no one needs a striker more than Arsenal. Arsenal need a striker. They've been lacking a striker. Look at that match against PSG. They really missed goals. I think with a striker, Arsenal next season for me, they win the league. If they sign a striker, Arsenal win the league. So for me, it's a perfect move for Victor Gyökeres. Another rumor I've seen recently is Vanja Milinković-Savić. I don't know if I'm saying well his name, but I've seen a rumor linking him to Manchester United. According to Fabrizio Romano, he's been added to the list of potential signings of Manchester United this summer. And I don't know what to think about him because I've seen maybe 2, 3 games of him. I think he plays at Torino, if I'm not wrong, in the Serie A. And according to many Serie A fans that I've talked to, he's a good goalkeeper. He's more reliable than Andre Onana. But do I think that United need a goalkeeper as a priority? I think there is many other positions that United need a player. So I doubt that this would be a perfect move. I think it would be smart though, because Onana have costed them goals, and he doesn't seem to understand that what Manchester United need it's someone who's reliable, not someone who takes risks. So I'll put it in okay. I'll put it in okay because I don't know the quality of the player, but I think it's a move that could make sense maybe. Another rumor I've seen is Theo Hernandez to Real Madrid. Let me tell you something. Honestly, I think Theo Hernandez is finished. I think he's finished this season. The way he played was, I think, is the main reason why Milan AC got eliminated by Feyenoord because of already the penalty. I think is the main reason AC Milan were knocked out by Feyenoord in the Champions League. And I don't see him making those relentless running. Those maybe he needs another context. But do Real Madrid need Theo Hernandez? I think they need a young left back, something who has a lot to prove. PSG have Nuno Mendes, Liverpool will potentially maybe sign Milos Kerkez. I doubt that Real Madrid need Hernández, I think they need also a young left back. By the way, if you haven't seen my video where I fix Real Madrid, go watch it. And the player, for me, I think they have to go, especially for the price. It's Miguel Gutierrez. Miguel Gutierrez for around 8 million because they have a buyback clause. It's a far better idea than Theo Hernandez. For me, Theo Hernandez, I see him going to Saudi. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he has the right to make a bad season, but I think all those seasons, giving everything for AC Milan. For me, I think he's almost a AC Milan legend. But I doubt that he's a Real Madrid fit. So for me, I would put in Meh. Because if he joins and he plays under Xabi Alonso, it would be a move that would make sense. But I doubt that's what Real Madrid need. They need a young left back who's graduating, someone who will offer them something on the long term. Another rumor I've seen is Jules Koundé to Chelsea. I don't know what to think about this rumor because I doubt that Barcelona would sell one of their best players. But let's remember that Barcelona have been, in financial crisis. Maybe selling Koundé would make sense to raise money because he would live for a big fee. I've seen around 80 million, but why would Jules Koundé join Chelsea? In all teams that he would join, why would he join Chelsea? Maybe because they're the only ones who would be ready to splash that much money. But for me, Jules Koundé to Chelsea, for me, it's hell no. I don't see this happening. And why would Chelsea buy Jules Koundé today? I think Chelsea if they need a player, it's a left-footed center back in that defense, and they need someone with a bit more experience. Jules Koundé has been playing right back for the last year, so for me, it's not the priority signing that they need. So for me, that will be a hell no. Another player that's on the move is Jonathan David. According to the Keep, he might be on the move to Marseille. And I believe this transfer would happen. But let's remember that Jonathan David is out of contract in June. So going for free to another side in Liga would be a good move for him. I think he has a lot to prove before joining a big club. I don't think that many big clubs, let's name for example Barcelona, I don't think they will be moving for Jonathan David. He has had 4, 5 great seasons in Liga, but I think big clubs like Barcelona need more guarantees in number 9. Even if it's an interesting deal, again, he's on free, but to Marseille. I think Marseille has an ambitious project with Mehdi Benassi and Pablo Longoria. I think they have lacked a number 9 for the past few seasons. They've had good number 9s like Aubameyang, but they've also had a lot of clubs like the guy who plays in Girona. I think his name is Vitinha. Yeah, Vitinha. They've had Eli Wayu, who's at Frankfurt right now, so they need a number 9. They have signed Amin Guiri, who's doing really good, but I think De Zerbi wants to play two in front like what he did in with Brighton. And for me, Jonathan David for free would be a smart move for Olympic to say. And then there is Trent, who's obviously on the move to Real Madrid. He has told Liverpool that he won't extend his contract. And as a Liverpool fan, I don't get the transfer because I don't understand why we would leave your boyhood club for Real Madrid, especially now. I do think Liverpool can compete with Real Madrid for big titles for the Champions League, and I don't see Liverpool less good than Real Madrid right now. So for me, the move doesn't make any sense, especially if you're a Scouser and your dream was to play for Liverpool for your whole life. But I guess not everyone is like Steven Gerrard, and I'm just disappointed in Trent's decision because if he wanted to leave, he should have done it before. Felipe Coutinho, I remind, he extended his contract so that Liverpool gets money. But to leave your boyhood club for free and and living under the conditions of Real Madrid because we know that this move had been agreed 2, 3 years ago. I think again it's deceiving from Trent. But player wise, is it a perfect move? Is it a smart move? Because I think Real Madrid do need a fullback, especially with Xabi Alonso almost being appointed. I think a right back who's more offensive than Carvalho is needed. So for me, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a smart move for Real Madrid. Another player that's linked to a Premier League club and who's currently playing in the Premier League is Dean Huijsen. You all know how I love this guy. For me, he's a generational player, very good on the ball, and I think moving to Liverpool would be a great decision for him. We've seen Fabrizio Romano linking him to Liverpool, to Arsenal, and Chelsea. Apparently, they're leading the race, and I have a feeling that he'll end up joining Liverpool because Liverpool need another centre back. We have seen Jared Quanta this season. He has really struggled to find his form that he had when he first joined this club. Ibrahima Konate is injury prone and he might leave next season, and it's a scary situation to be in as a Liverpool fan because we might lose Ibrahima Konate next season, and the next season after we might lose also Van Dijk because he has extended for only 2 years. So Liverpool need a young centre back, especially a centre back who's good on the ball, a centre back who can also play on the left-sided defense. For me, Dean Huijsen is a perfect move for Liverpool. It makes all sense, and I think him also coming and competing with Konate for the first place would be something that Slot needs because Konate, we know how good he is, but he gets injured often, and I feel that sometimes he needs someone to push him, So Dean Huijsen to step up to Liverpool, for me, that's a perfect move. What about Jonathan Tah? Jonathan Tah has been linked to Manchester United according to Bild. I do think Manchester United would need one centre back who would bring in something that relates to the playing style of Ruben Amorim. We knew that at Sporting Ruben Amorim had also like a ball playing centre back in Gonzalo Inacio, and I think that's why he lacks at Manchester United because Lisandro Martinez is a lot injured, and they have already Harry Maguire who's really good, and I think he has the same profile as Jonathan Tah. They also have Reni Yoro who's really going to be a really great centre back for the future, and he's starting to leave his mark. So for me, Jonathan Tah would be an okay move because I think he could come in and and sort of bring a competition for that main center back in that back three. But for me, if Manchester United want to play the way Ruben Amorim wants, they have to go for another ball playing center back. For me, I think Gonzalo Inacio for Sporting would be a really smart move. So Jonathan Tah to Manchester United, for me, it's a okay move again. A big bomb just got dropped, and it's Florian Wirtz to Bayern Munich. According to Bild, it's almost done deal. He would join Bayern Munich for next season, not this season, but the next season. So he would play his last season for Bayern Leverkusen, especially with Xabi Alonso leaving. We all know that Florian Wirtz would leave, but I thought Florian Wirtz would go to Manchester City. For me, the player is incredible. But I don't see him fitting in this Bayern side, and especially for Bayern wise, I'm not a fan because they have Jamal Musiala in that role. Yes, Jamal Musiala plays with Florian Wirtz in the German national team, but again, they play in the same roles. They're all offensive midfielders. They play, even if they play on the wing, they all like to play in that central roles. And let's add that you have both Michael Olise last season. So for me, I don't see him really fitting in this Bayern Munich side. I think the player will do good because he's a talented player. He's one of a kind. He's really excellent. I love Florian Wirtz again, but I don't see him fitting in this Bayern Munich side, and especially for Bayern Munich side, I think the money could be used for another player who can fit in that team. Why not maybe going for a left winger and putting Jamal Musiala in that 10 role, and you have Michael Olise on that right side. We know that Harry Kane also is getting old. Why not investing on a striker? And I'm not a fan of always taking the best best Bundesliga players to Bayern. I'm not a fan of this. For me, Florian Wirtz was the ideal replacement of Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City, and it's a shame that they haven't moved for him because he would have fit in so perfectly. So for me, Florian Wirtz, because of the talent, because of the player, I would have to put him in okay mode. What about Jeremy Frimpong? In the last hours, we've seen many rumors about Jeremy Frimpong to Liverpool. According to Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool is monitoring Jeremy Frimpong and they're aware of his release clause of 35 million and they're interested in the player. But as a Liverpool fan, I don't see this happening and I doubt that we would move for Jeremy Frimpong. Again, I like the guy, I like the player, he's really good, but he doesn't fit in what Liverpool needs. I don't see where he would play. Slot plays a system of 4-2-3-1, so I don't get where Frimpong would fit. For me, Frimpong is not a right back. For me, he's more than a right winger than a right back. His best role is right wing back, and I think Frimpong, to get the best out of him, you have to play him at that position, right wing back. For me, he's a player that Real Madrid would have bought if they hadn't bought Alexander-Arnold. And for me, I would have gone for Frimpong rather than Trent Alexander-Arnold, especially when you knew that you were going to appoint Xabi Alonso. So Frimpong to Liverpool, I don't think it will happen. And I think Liverpool have to trust Conor Bradley. I think you don't need another young player to come in and compete with Conor Bradley. You have to trust Conor Bradley. And if you want to put him in competition with him, you have to bring in someone who's more experienced. And I'm talking about Ola Aina. I've seen no rumor about Ola Aina to Liverpool, but his contract is running up till June. And I think we need someone with a bit of experience and someone who can even play on the left would be a great move, a smart move for me. So for me, Jeremy Frimpong to Liverpool, I don't see this happening. And if it happens, for me, it would be a mistake, even if it's 35 million. For me, it's a hell no. Another rumor I've seen about Liverpool, I doubt that it's true, but it's Karim Adeyemi to Liverpool. So Karim Adeyemi, I don't believe to this rumor, but I know that Liverpool have been interested before he went to Dortmund. They have been interested when he was playing to Salzburg. I know Liverpool were interested before when he was playing for Salzburg. So Karim Adeyemi to Liverpool, for me, that's the worst idea possible. Karim Adeyemi, for me, he's more of a right winger. I don't know even his best position because I feel that he's more of a right winger or maybe a 9.5. So player like, for example, like Marcus Thuram, uh, he has great qualities that would fit in the Premier League, I think. But for me, it's the wrong idea again because Liverpool, if they have to bring in an offensive player, he has to be a striker. And Karim Adeyemi, for me, I don't see him being the main number 9 of Liverpool, especially at around 50 million I've seen. So for me, that's the worst idea possible for Liverpool right now. So Karim Adeyemi, for me, it's hell. Another rumor that's unfortunately true is that most of you are watching my videos aren't subscribed yet. Please make sure to subscribe for more football content. Let's keep going. Now, there is another player who's rumored to join the Premier League this summer, and is Rodrygo. Apparently, Rodrygo is attracting interest from Arsenal, and we know that Arsenal are looking for a left winger. And for me, this would be a smart move for Arsenal. You know what? Not even a smart move. It would be a perfect move. I want to know from Arsenal fans, would you trade Rodrygo for a player like Saliba in your team? Would you accept to have another offensive player, maybe Rodrygo and Hendrick for Saliba? Because I'm interested to know what you would think, Arsenal fans, because I believe that Rodrygo would be the type of move that would make you win the Premier League. But Rodrygo without a striker also, I don't think it's enough. But Victor Gyökeres, for example, with Rodrygo also, then Arsenal would mean business. For me, Rodrygo would fit in perfectly in what Arteta wants to do. Who would play in his best role. He's really intelligent. His playing style would fit in the Premier League. So for me, this would be even a perfect move for Arsenal. But let's see if it happens. Another player I've seen rumored to Arsenal is Mohamed Kudus. According to ESPN, Mohamed Kudus could be on the move this summer, with Saudi Arabia interested in him, but also Arsenal. We know that he has a release clause of around 85 million for Premier League clubs, and Arsenal could be tempted to move for him. And I doubt that it's the type of player that Arsenal needs. I think he has the same playing style as Bukayo Saka. They have different qualities. Of course, Mohamed Kudus is more attracted by the central roles of the pitch. And I know he said that he would love to play as a number 10. He feels more comfortable as a number 10. And Odegaard have deceived me a lot this season, so I could be tempted by saying that Mohamed Kudus would be a smart move from Arsenal, but for the price and for his game style, let's not forget that he's more also of a, you know, he's more of a dribbler like Bukayo Saka. He loves to play, he loves to play one-on-one situations. He's really good on the ball, but I see him joining a club like Newcastle. For me, if he wants to step up in the Premier League, he has to join a club like Newcastle, who just needs a player like Mohamed Kudus on the wing to become I think a top team to even think about a Premier League trophy. I think Newcastle would be dangerous with a player like Mbeumo or Kudus on the wing with Alexander Isak if he stays. So for me, Mohamed Kudus, I doubt that he would be a good move for Arsenal. So for me, it would be a meme. Maybe it could turn out to be the perfect Odegaard replacement, but I think he has the same playing style as Bukayo Saka, as I said. Another player that is rumored to join the Premier League is Victor Osimhen. Osimhen apparently is rumored to join Manchester United, with Ruben Amorim wanting a striker. They have been linked to Victor Gyökeres also, but Victor Gyökeres seems to be interested to join a club that's only playing the Champions League. Manchester United could play the Champions League next season, which is crazy. They are like 14th in the league and they could well play Champions League football. So Victor Osimhen, do I think he fits in Manchester United? I think yes. I think he reminds me Gyökeres in that Sporting team. I think he's a player who has similar playing traits as Gyökeres. He plays with a lot with his physical attributes, and his game could fit in the Premier League. And for the wages he's asking for, this looks like a Manchester United transfer. Exactly. And I think for me, he would be an upgrade over Højlund. Do I think it would happen? Because I still think Victor Osimhen still moves to Saudi Arabia this summer. So for him making a big move to Manchester United, for me, I think it's unlikely. But if it happens for me, I do think it's an upgrade over Højlund and Zirkzee. For me, it would be an okay move. But perfect move for me for Manchester United for their striker position would be Victor Gyökeres. So the last player on this list is William Saliba. According to Fabrizio Romano, he's reportedly being monitored by Real Madrid and he could be on the move this summer. I think he's the type of player that Real Madrid needs. I think he's one of the last players that would fit in their project really well if they still have a project. But we know that Florentino Perez is interested in bringing the best young players in the world to build a super team, and I think Saliba would be even a better option than Rudiger. For me, Rudiger, I think it's time to move on. He's made great season, but at sometimes when he's really not good, he's really not good. But Saliba, for me, he's a good defender. He's one of the best young defenders in the world. He's one of the best Premier League defenders in the world. So in the Premier League, excuse me. So William Saliba to Real Madrid, especially in that back three that Xabi Alonso is going to implement, I think would be a perfect move for them. I think they lack a player who can lead that defense, a player who can also recover mistakes, because I think Trent will be really offensive in that team, and if they buy a left wing back also who's really offensive, I think they do need an intelligent defender, because Asensio is really good, Rudiger is really good, but I think they need someone who's more in the anticipation role, who's more of an intelligent defender. So Saliba makes a lot of sense, and for me that would be a perfect move for Real Madrid. So here's the 15 transfer rumors of the moment. I want to know what will be your dream transfer for your club this summer. For the rest, make sure to subscribe and like for more football content. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.